I want to welcome you to BibleStudyMinistry.com. Today's Bible study is Living in the Times of the Gentiles, and it's part of our According to the Bible series. So, what does this mean, living in the time of the Gentiles? The times of the Gentiles represents a time period in which the Gentiles will rule the majority or all of the earth as we know it. This time period began at a certain point of time. In Luke chapter 21, Jesus tells that the times of the Gentiles needs to be fulfilled before the end of the age will come, or before a change will come in the world dynamics as we know it. So the big question then needs to be asked, who are the Gentiles? Because if the times of the Gentiles needs to be fulfilled, most Christians believe that they are Gentiles. We need to really investigate who are the Gentiles. Genesis chapter 10 tells us that the Gentiles are a family line from the patriarch Japheth, and Japheth was one of the three sons of Noah. If you remember, there was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The Gentiles are not people who are not Jews. Rather, the Gentiles are European whites or white people or Caucasian people. It's normally thought that if you are not a Jew, you're a Gentile. Well, that is not according to what we read in Genesis chapter 10. How do we conclude that whites or Europeans are the Gentiles today? Well, we ask the question, who rules our world today? The flags below and the images below kind of give us an idea. The European Union, United States of America, Russia, and during the times of Jesus, they referred to their Roman superiors or their Roman officials as the Gentiles. So the Gentiles were ruling at that time period, and they are still ruling the world today. The Gentiles are the main decision makers we have in the world today. It has been this way since King Nebuchadnezzar, when he took over Babylon, and from that time period, the Gentiles have been the major decision makers when it comes to world events and world politics and many other different aspects of life. The Gentile rulership has been prophesied to be intact from the period starting with Nebuchadnezzar until the end of the age or the world. It's been written that everything has been given to the Gentiles. They have control over the animals, even the animals of the field. Everything is under their rule until the end of the age. When is the end of the age? The end of the age is when Jesus Christ, the Messiah, returns to the earth. This is written in detail in the books of the prophets in the Bible, but more specific in Daniel chapter 2 and also in Daniel chapter 7. Daniel breaks down the king's dream, Nebuchadnezzar's dream. He had a dream, and it clearly walks us through the history of the world, starting from the Gentile rulership, which was King Nebuchadnezzar. If you remember, the image that was in the dream had a head of gold, a chest and breastplate of silver, thighs and legs of bronze, and mixed with clay and stone, and 10 toes of stone and clay. And that statue, that dream, and the breakdown of that dream gives us the Gentile rulership until the very end, which is in the 10 toes. While under Gentile rule, we are subject to their media, teachings, practices, and even religious practices as well. Much of Gentile spiritual practice or religious practice comes from ancient Egypt and other African spiritual deities. Practices such as sun worship and animal worship, and practices such as December 25th, birth of the unconquered sun, and also beliefs such as taking a trip to heaven after death, and so forth and so forth. Many of these spiritual beliefs and practices are not supported within the pages of the Bible written by the prophets or the apostles. At the end of the age, the Gentiles will come and confess that they have inherited lies. In Jeremiah chapter 16, it says at verse 19, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Verse 20, Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? This is the question. They will admit that they've inherited lies wherein there was no profit, that they made gods to themselves that were not gods. If this is the confession that they will have at the end of the age to the Lord himself, then what are they handling today? You have to ask yourself the same question. Do you want to know more? Great. For more details on the times of the Gentiles and other Bible studies according to the Bible, please visit Bible Study Ministry, and also sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel today also. Thank you for taking the time to study with us during our According to the Bible series. We are BibleStudyMinistry.com, and today's lesson was Living in the Times of the Gentiles. God bless you and peace in the name of Jesus.